Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hey everyone, welcome to the third episode of Ultracrepidarians, the show where me and Kaylee talk about whatever we choose to talk about.
Yeah, I'm Kaylee.
And I'm Connor.
Like the last two episodes didn't tell you who we were or what we like or that one of us knows way too much about My Little Pony.
It's okay, just in case people come into episode 3 without having listened to the first 2 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
I know people who have listened to episode 2 without listening to episode 1.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, not really. It's not like we have a fan base.
How dare they?
How dare they? I'm personally offended. I just think it's crazy that like we have people who like are just like listening to the podcast.
Just casually listening.
Yeah.
It's weirder for me that people are listening and then later coming up to me and talking about it. And like every time I'm shocked. I'm like, what? You actually listen to it? Just because, let's be honest, inside our head, this as a thought is insane.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because we always talked about before we started the podcast, like, what are we going to do once we get big? But like...
Right. Well, we said if we get big.
You said if, I said when.
Okay, that's a good.
And it's not like we're
clarification.
doing this to even get famous, because now it's turned into like a passion project for you and me.
It's just something fun that we want to do for
Funsies.
Yeah, for funsies, and we're both serious about doing it long term. So
yeah, no, and I have actually fallen in love with the process of having a podcast.
yeah,
How cringe is that?
When I would even say when I was in high school, I
Yeah.
saw a podcast and I was like, podcasts are so boring. There's no, like, you just listen to it and there's nothing actually happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then now that making a podcast, all I have thinking about is there's so much happening. There's so much going on right now.
There's so much that goes into a podcast too. And also, as an adult who doesn't have time to like watch movies or like gets bored of listening to music sometimes, podcasts have been like my saving grace.
Podcasts just, you could do stuff while listening to it. So it all of a sudden becomes more applicable to your everyday life than like a movie
Yeah.
or something.
And like, don't get me wrong, I love music. Shout out to Hosier. If you ever listen to this, Hosier, this one's for you. But like, sometimes I get sick of music. Sometimes I'll be working and I'll be like, I'm sick of this music right now.
Right.
I'll throw on a podcast.
Everyone has like an 8-hour-long playlist that they play with music, and they're like, I'll never get through it. And then while you're saying that, you hear it go back to the first song. You're like, no way, I've been through the whole thing. You have. You've actually been through the whole thing like 100 times by now.
Yeah. Like, you know that playlist like the back of your hand?
Yeah.
I have one of those playlists. It's like an 80s playlist or like 80s vibes playlist. And it's like 7.5 hours long. And I listened to it all of summer of 2022. And now I can't, like, I have to, like, be in the, it has to either be
You
summertime.
can't listen to it
Yeah.
as often as you did.
No.
But there's also going to come a time where you do want to listen to it as often as you did again. It just comes and goes. I think I don't have like a lot of different playlists. I just have my like main playlist that I've had since I was a kid. So every year there comes a time where I add new songs and go through the playlist and take away old songs, because there like are still songs on the playlist that I added when I was like 12. And I was like, ooh, this is not it. I don't want this playing in my car with other people.
You have like the Discord song for My Little Pony. Oh, wait, you weren't a brony.
I wasn't.
Did you have Five Nights at Freddy's songs in your playlist?
I didn't, but I know of them. I had Minecraft parody songs on my playlist when I was younger. I remember getting rid of all of those. Like, they were parodies to popular songs, but about Minecraft.
What's that one? I wanna dig.
What?
Do you remember instead of the I wanna dance, they changed it to dig? I
don't think I had that one.
I'll show you it after the podcast.
Oh gosh.
I just went
But
through.
I had like the Captain Sparkles ones, like Fallen Kingdom and stuff.
Fallen Kingdom was a work of art.
Yeah.
I don't think that should be considered a Minecraft parody.
No, there's
its
at
own
some
song.
point where a parody becomes like its own thing, especially when he comes out with multiple songs and an overarching story of it.
And the animation too. Are you joking? I would rewatch that video for hours as a kid.
I like, you just think about these things, like you think back on them and you're like, man, that was true art. Then you go and look at them again and you're like, I'm watching a Minecraft video right now. Like, you forget it's just a song that was originally inspired by a game strictly made of blocks.
Isn't that crazy? And also how much Minecraft has evolved from when we were kids.
Yeah, because now it gets like updates
Every
at
6
least
months.
every year, like large updates, because they just recently did one of theirs. They had their mob vote that they're doing now, where it was like, I think this year the only one I remember was the armadillo, because I think that one won because it's gonna give players dog armor.
There's dog armor now?
There's gonna be dog armor. I don't know when they're adding it. They might add it 2024. Or they might add it sooner.
I remember the caves and cliff update being such a formidable part in my brain because I was like, new terrain. I like just barely had just gotten comfortable with the Nether. And like even then,
really?
Yeah. Dude, I'm scared of Minecraft. Minecraft's scary.
I think the Caves and Cliffs update brought a lot of people back. Because, you can play through Minecraft like every time, they have the same dimensions. Like they have the overworld, the Nether, the end. And then in that update, they were like, hey, Y level, you can go under 0 now. Like you can go real deep. There's a whole different city. There's a new boss. And so people are like, what? This is basically a new realm. So everyone got back into it.
Yeah. What side of Minecraft internet were you on? I'm curious.
That's a dangerous game to play.
I don't think we were on the same side of the Minecraft internet.
Well, okay, let me hear your answer first.
I was on like Sky Does Minecraft and like AFMAO and like I watched Captain Sparkles, but not as much. There was also this one YouTuber named Cool Guy 13 who like later had like a very controversial like internet arc. And yeah, but she had like this Minecraft like hide and seek series called Hide and Go Gortame, and it was such a formidable part of my childhood. And I was unsupervised.
Hide and what?
Hide and Go Seek I don't know how to pronounce it. Gortame, I think it is.
Hide and Go Seek Gortame?
Yeah, but it's like Hide and Go Seek, but it's like Gortame edition. But it would be like their friend that would put on a funny voice and chase them through a maze. It was scary. I'll show you it.
Gortame.
Gortame. I don't know if I'm saying it right.
Is that a name or a word?
I think it's a name.
Because if it's a word, I think you're trying to say gourmet.
No, it's
okay.
It's a name.
Okay, so
Hide
it's
and Go
not
Seek
gourmet.
No, it was like
you
horror.
just kept saying Gortame, and I was like,
No, I'll show you it after and you'll understand. But
okay.
It was this like hide and seek series, and I was
for everyone listening, go look up hide and seek Gortame.
Yeah, it's really low quality, like 2013 Minecraft videos. So take that as you will. But when I was like 11 or 10, I was like, this is peak cinema.
This is it.
This is it.
This is it.
But yeah,
we've peaked. It's downhill from here.
I was unsupervised on the internet on my dad's house. So whenever I was at my dad's house, I'd be watching those videos and like PewDiePie and stuff. But then whenever I was at my mom's house, I had to like be really careful with what I watched in front of her.
Cocomelon. Just kidding. That's way too new.
Visceral reaction to that.
That's way too new for us.
But what side of Minecraft internet were you on, Connor?
I did watch a lot of Captain Sparkles. As a kid, I remembered so hard trying to get like interested in Hermitcraft, where like a bunch of Minecraft YouTubers all had a server together and there would like be different seasons and stuff. And I tried so hard to get into it, but little kid me could not like continue watching series. It would have to be like one-off videos. I also watched a little bit of Stampy Cat when he had his world, but yeah. And then like I got back into Minecraft a little later when PewDiePie started doing his playthrough. And then Jacksepticeye followed, so I was like, dang, that's looking kind of fun. I remember it being fun. I'm going to start playing it again. So now I've stopped watching all of that except for one guy. His channel's called Luke the Notable. And he pioneered the like 100 days in Minecraft thing. He uploaded his first video and it went like insane viral. And then he did 200 days, 300, then he went on to 1,000. Now I think his original world has, like, he's getting ready to upload 4,000 days in Minecraft. So, like, he's gone through, like, 100, 200, 300, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, and now it's going to be 4,000.
That's crazy.
But, like, over the years, he's done, like, 100 days in the Nether only, or, like, 100 days in Superflat, 100 days in the end. And so...
That's crazy to think about.
But now, like 100 days in Minecraft, like are everywhere.
Yeah.
Because you have people doing 100 days in modded Minecraft, 100 days in old Minecraft. So I don't watch many Minecraft YouTubers now, but one guy is stuck with me.
Do you remember Ionite?
Ionite?
Yeah, do you remember that series? It was like Captain Sparkles, that one Australian YouTuber, I can't remember his name, and then the couple that like broke up mid-season 2.
Oh, I think I do.
It was like they were in a world and there was like Mionite and Dionite and then Ionite. And Captain Sparkles was like the only Ionite follower. And I was like, yeah, Captain Sparkles.
Underdog story.
Underdog story.
That's so funny. I remember it, but I don't think I watched too much of it.
Okay.
Because again, little kid me brain, I couldn't watch whole series. I was like one episode and I'm done. I say that having watched like all of Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Star Wars: The Clone Wars is like a unique case of like any media though, because like it piggybacked off of the original franchise.
Right. Like it had some
but created its
groundwork
own like iconic place in the franchise. You know what I mean?
Because season 1 it had some stuff to go off of, and then I think every season they went more into like their own stuff until season 7 came out and they had to tie it back to like episode 3.
And the way that they built the war itself was so good. It it was so well
because you're not
thought out.
You're not gonna see that stuff in a movie.
No.
But for a TV series, heck yeah, you could do it, especially animated.
Yeah.
Because then you can make so much more battle scenes and a bunch more clones and stuff.
It was insane, I think, for its time to be that as a kid show too. Like the fact that it premiered. First of all, the first piece of it was a movie. It was a movie, and then it became a TV show.
Yeah.
And I don't think we talk about the movie enough.
Right, because it was an animated movie that introduced us to Ahsoka, kind of gave us Anakin in a master role, even though he wasn't granted the title of master.
Yeah.
Didn't the movie have like the baby Jabba?
Yeah.
I always forget about that, and I see images pop up, and I'm like, ugh, that's a terrifying piece of Star Wars media. Just to like see that little guy. I remember too, long ago, Lego had sets of like Star Wars: The Clone Wars movie.
Yeah.
And that little tiny Jabba was, that little hut was in Lego form. And it was so, I don't know, it just had like rolls for days, like a fat baby. Like a fat baby. It had rolls. And I was like, this is a Lego piece?
That little hut.
Yeah, well, I was calling it Jabba, but like Jabba the Hutt is like just one of the huts.
Yeah, you're right.
I actually don't know, because I know it's like, the Hutt house. Like that's their family and stuff.
The House of Gucci.
But I don't, sure, like the House of Gucci. But I don't know if like it's just the Hutts or if there's like another house. I don't know if like the Hutt is also their species. So.
Oh, speaking of childhood, this is a podcast idea that I wrote down a while ago.
Oh.
So you and I have been on a Disney Channel original movie kick.
Yes, we
AKA
have.
one brand,
Yes, we
one
have.
movie, but we don't need to disclose which one. But we were talking about Camper. Also,
if anyone watched Disney Channel in the late 2000s, early 2010s, you know exactly which Disney Channel original movie franchise we're talking about.
Yeah, the best one.
Peak.
Well, the first one was the best one.
The first one was the best one.
And then 2 and 3 went downhill, but we don't need to talk about those.
It was a steady decline.
Did I still watch them?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Many times.
Was I in high school when the third one came out and I still watched it?
I did. Yeah, I did. I remember my older sister who worked at Disney. My family was visiting her, and the day it came out, we sat down and watched it.
All together?
No, like me, her, and then my younger sister.
Oh.
So it was like 3 of us that were really excited for it. And we sat down on the floor and watched it on a laptop that was sitting on a chair because everyone else was in the living room watching TV. And we were like, okay, let's just go somewhere else and watch it. Because we watched it as it premiered. And then later on that trip, we watched it again.
You watched the third one again?
Like twice in the week it came out.
That's crazy. It wasn't that good.
No.
It was terrible.
Sorry,
Disney.
I was riding the high.
Disney, I think your media is great. Please, Disney, if you are listening to this, I think you're great, and I think you produce only good movies.
I don't. I think your media is great, Disney, but let's be honest, you don't make just good movies.
Well, no one does.
There's some bad ones.
Anyways, back to the topic that I was going to talk about. When speaking of childhood and Disney Channel original movies, I went to a fine arts magnet school for elementary school. Your reaction?
You totally give off the vibes of someone who'd just been like, hey, I went to a fine arts school.
Well, it wasn't like all I learned about was fine arts. That wasn't it at all. Like, it was normal elementary school, but then like they'd make me do like a play or musical every year, which was good. It got me into theater. I think that should have been the foreshadowing for my mother, was when I was a little bit too excited to be doing musicals every year. But yeah.
We're all drawn to the stage at some point.
The way you looked up, I wish there was a video because it was so cinematic. We're all drawn to the stage at some point.
Hey, we're talking about Disney Channel original movies. I'm trying to get in the mindset.
Wow. He's really good.
Okay, so you went to a fine arts school.
Oh, yeah, I went to a fine arts school. And whenever it was raining, like during the year, they would put us all in like what they would call rainy day recess, which is when they would shove all of the kids into the cafeteria for lunch.
Oh, okay.
And then...
like, if it was raining.
Yeah, they'd shove us all in there.
Okay.
And they would set up a microphone. And if any of us wanted to sing, we were allowed to go up and sing.
No.
And so in 3rd or 4th grade, little Kaylee was what she thought was madly in love, aka just brainwashed by Disney media and thinking she needed to have a boyfriend and that she needed to be 16, even though she was like 9.
Yeah.
And I was in my in my pink Hello Kitty sparkly t-shirt and my pink skirt. I took my little twinkle toed shoes up onto that stage.
Were they also pink?
They were pink and blue.
Oh, okay.
I was a classic girl. I had to also have some teal in there.
Yeah.
I waddled right on up to that microphone and I said, "This is for someone special in the cafeteria today."
You did not. Oh, no. Oh, as a 3rd or 4th grader, that is...
And you want to know what I sang? Man. You want to know what I sang?
Do I want to know?
Do you?
Well, of course I want to know.
I sang "This Is Me" from Camp Rock. But I didn't know the full song, so I just kept singing the chorus and then like part of the bridge. And then I was just like, and then I'd stop like, "This is me. Thank you." And I walked off the stage, and I remember this so vividly because the boy that I dedicated that song to, he didn't know I dedicated it to him, but he stopped me as I was walking back to my seat, and he was like, "Kaylee, I didn't know you could sing. You did really good." And I remembered that. Oh, no. I clung to that for years as like... I
thought you were going to say, he was like, "Who is it dedicated to?" And he's like, he started getting jealous.
No, he just told me I did really good, and then like...
That's so funny.
Yeah, I haven't talked to that kid in like 10 years.
I can't believe you went up saying this is for someone special.
Yeah. William, if you're listening to this.
No.
I don't even remember his last name.
William?
He had like that little blonde-haired bowl
You went
cut.
for the Disney Channel named boy.
I did, with the Disney Channel hair. I was like, I know what I want, and I'm going to get it.
Oh, man. Growing up, what was your favorite Disney Channel original movie? Like, not necessarily like favorite, but what was your go-to, like, let's watch this one?
I think it was Camp Rock.
It was Camp Rock?
I think it was Camp Rock. I think on my biological dad's iPod, I made him illegally download the soundtrack and then burn it onto a CD for me. Because he was like a DJ, so like he knew how to do all that stuff.
Right. Disclose that information of how your dad can illegally get music.
Well, now he's a washed-up DJ in Oklahoma who I have blocked on Facebook. So
wow.
Vachi, if you're listening to this, my real dad has only ever gotten me music legally.
I think mine's really weird because my dad would watch it with me too because it was kind of in the realm of stuff he liked, but I loved watching Luck of the Irish.
I forgot about that movie.
He's getting like super unlucky now. And then he learns like his family's really leprechauns. And he's losing his luck and he has to, like, the third act is he has to fight a group of leprechauns and like he has to play basketball with them and win to get his luck back. But my dad would watch it with me because he knew where they filmed it, because one of the scenes was shot at the roller coaster park Lagoon, and he knew where that was. Even like living in Florida, he knew where that was, and like, you know, I come from Irish, like my family's Irish. And so he saw that and he was like, oh, this is great. I love this. This is funny. And so that was the only Disney Channel original movie that he watched. And so I watched it fairly often. And I think, I want to say a year ago, maybe a little more now, I was just laying in my bed one day and I kind of slowly made the connection that Disney Plus meant that Luck of the Irish could be on there. And when I searched for it, it was there. So the last time I watched it was like about a year ago.
That's crazy.
Because I just wanted to rewatch it. It is a wild movie.
Yeah, it is.
Like the grandpa at one point, because like his family's being messed with and his grandpa's going back to his original size as a leprechaun. Like it's when he finds out his family is leprechauns. His ears are getting pointy, his red hair is getting spiky, and they pick him up in the car and they're like, we have to tell you something. Because his mom's like having an accident again. She's like wearing weird clothing. And then they pull out the grandpa and he's like super tiny on like the middle part in the front row of a car. He's just standing on it, tiny. And the grandson's just like coming down to his level and he's like massive. It's so weird, but I remember it so vividly.
I think whenever we do establish a YouTube channel with video footage, we should just do an episode where we only react to like Disney Channel original movies.
There has to be like videos online that just show the most unhinged parts of Disney Channel original movies.
This is the
So
second
we'll watch it one day.
This is the second this is the second episode we've talked about Disney Channel original movies. Because I think
Is it? Or is it the second episode we talked about Disney?
This is the third episode we talked about Disney. That's what happens when you're a mega corporation.
Yeah, I mean,
but
you can't really go on in life without talking about Disney.
Yeah, but
eventually.
Last episode we were talking about the Worm movie, which I think Disney also made.
That's right.
Didn't they make that movie?
Did Disney make it?
I think so.
I haven't done much more research with it. So
I haven't done any research on it. I just remember being traumatized.
I don't know who would do research on a movie about eating worms.
It was crazy. Me and you just keep making each other yawn, by the way.
I remember growing up seeing Nickelodeon movies as well, because like Nickelodeon would make movies from their shows and Disney Channel would just make like separate movies that would sometimes go into shows.
Yeah.
And growing up, I didn't even give Nickelodeon movies a chance. Like I was such a Disney kid where I was like, these are going to be hot garbage. They wish they could compete with Disney. But then I sang a different tale when a live action Fairly Odd Parents movie came out. And I just thought it was the funniest thing because I think it was Drake from Drake and Josh who starred as Timmy.
Yeah.
And it was like he's a teenager now. And I don't know. That's the movie that got me. Out of all Nickelodeon's movies, that one was the one I was like, this is way better than Disney.
Mine was the crossover. It wasn't a movie, but it was a crossover episode of Victorious and iCarly. Where they find out that Carly is dating the same guy as Tori, and like they find him cheating in like LA.
What? I don't think I don't think I've seen that crossover.
It's such a good episode. I was like was it
a
the
crossover
drama
for like iCarly or Victorious?
For both. So like we started in iCarly and then we went over to Victorious and then Carly went to LA to catch her boyfriend cheating. And like her and Tori like united.
Man, how did I not watch this episode?
I don't know, but it was crazy.
I remember the crossover between Fairly Odd Parents and Jimmy Neutron. There was, I don't know how. But in the episode, I think it was like an hour-long special or something. It wasn't a movie, but it was like a special. Timmy and Jimmy switch places. Like they hop dimensions. And so then like Timmy Turner's animated in this like 3D animation in Jimmy Neutron. And then Jimmy's 2D animated, like really cartoon and Fairly Odd Parents. The one thing I remember is the girl that hated Jimmy when Timmy came into the world. She like instantly fell in love with him, and then
she's just like me for real.
And then when Neutron came back, he was like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "Shut up, Nerdtron." I think that's what she called him. Yeah. So I just thought that part. I think that's why I remember it so much. I thought it was hilarious how like she hates him, but as soon as a guy with the same name but one letter different shows up, she's like madly in love with him.
She's just like me for real. All it takes is the one letter.
Sing a song for William and then...
Fall in love with Billiam.
Billiam. I was going to say Tillium, but Billiam's probably better.
Billiam is better.
Because at least Bill is there.
Oh, yeah. I've only ever dated, like, been in relationships with short-named guys, and I think about that a lot.
Really short-named, like, how short-named?
Like 4 to 3 letters.
No 5.
No 5.
4 is where...
Yep.
Like Jake or Tim or Alan.
No.
Or Fred.
No.
Or...
They're all basic.
Did I say Jake?
Yes.
I said Jake. Okay.
My friend is dating a guy named Jake right now.
Jake from State Farm?
Yeah. Shout out to Jake and Madeline.
Jake from State Farm. That's crazy. I'm losing all names that are 3 and 4 letter. Will.
No. What's the most basic name for a guy you can come up with?
Steve, but that's 5 letters. Ben.
No.
Jim.
No.
Did I say Tim? I said Tim.
Yeah. One of them is a Tim Burton dog.
You're really gonna call me out like that?
Yeah.
You're gonna share on the internet. I don't know Tim Allen. Tim Burton dog.
Tim Allen.
So I said Tim Burton. I said Tim Burton.
Tim Burton. It's from Nightmare Before Christmas. What's the dog's name from Nightmare? Do you not remember the dog?
Hold on. Give me a second. It's
a 3-letter name.
Max.
Yeah.
Max. Yeah. I remembered. I was like, what's a dog's name? I was like, what is a dog's name?
She got that dog in her.
But Max is also the dog in How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Because anytime I say Max, I hear in my head the Grinch screaming Max.
Yeah.
I like how it's the episode that's good. This episode comes out the day before Thanksgiving, and we're already talking about Christmas.
We talked about Christmas in the last episode.
Yeah, I know, but if any episode we're going to talk about... You know, since that episode, I have gotten so many people coming up to me being like, hey, what's that thing that you build with, like, Mary and Joseph or during Christmas? And I'm like, I'm not saying it. I'm not doing it.
Wait until Christmas rolls around.
But actually, I was talking with some other people that sparked the conversation, and we started talking about other things that people mispronounce. They're like, how do you say milk? And I'm like, milk. I'm like, I don't say milk. And they're like, milk. How do you say caramel? And I'm like, I say caramel, not caramel.
Actually, I say it differently depending on what I'm talking about.
What?
Because if I'm going to get a caramel latte, I'm going to get a caramel latte. But if I'm going to get like
I'd just say a caramel latte. Yeah, I wouldn't say.
No, it's a caramel latte.
I wouldn't change it. I'd say caramel.
Yeah, but then it's caramel drizzle. But I want caramel latte. I should get a coffee after this.
But then, before I say how I pronounce it, because it is whack, and it's not even like everyone from where I'm from say it. I know it's like very specific groups that say it, but like my whole family says it. What do you call the thing the kids draw with?
Crayon? It's a crayon.
Yep, I've heard crayon. I've heard crayon. Like people say the Y, like crayon.
Yeah.
Crane. Oh, no, not crane. Crayon. Yeah, those are the 2 most popular ways to say it. I want you to take a guess as to how I pronounce it.
Crayon?
Nope.
How do you say it?
It's a crown.
What? Connor, you call it a crown?
Yeah, you draw with crowns. Yeah. When I was younger, me and my sister would be like, hey, can we have some crowns? And guess what? My mom knew exactly what we were saying.
No.
She knew exactly what we were saying. She gave it to me. She knew exactly what she was saying. And
no.
Yes.
You were asking for a pointy hat with shiny rocks on it.
No, I was asking for crowns. I was asking for crowns. If I say crowns, my family knows. Some of my friends from Florida knew. No. Even adults from Florida knew what I was saying.
No. What is wrong with
Ever since moving to Utah, I've been attacked for this.
This isn't just like a Utah thing. This is an everywhere thing. Nobody says crown.
No, I know it's an everywhere thing. Like there's still other like people in Florida who'd be like, man, I do not pronounce it that way. But growing up, everyone around me, if I said crown, they know what I was talking about. You draw with crowns.
No,
and then you put a crown on your head. A crown is for your head, and then you draw with crowns.
You just said the same word with a straight face.
I know I said the same word, but in my head, I know what I'm saying.
Well, your head is wrong in this case.
No, I'm not.
Yes. Oh my God. I cannot believe you said crown. That's crazy.
I have never.
That's insane.
I have never said it a different way. And growing up in my family, I never heard it said a different way.
You're getting
All of
so
us said
heated.
crown. But nowadays, anytime I say crown, there's always someone who turns to me and goes, oh, what? And I'm like, what do you want me to say? Crayon? I was like, that seems so unnatural.
Well, that's the way it's said, Connor.
It shouldn't be a 2-syllable word in my mind.
Well,
Sure, yeah, I know how it's spelled. I'm not going to spell it CROWN.
want to know how you're talking right now? I killed them. I killed them all.
Not just the men, but the women.
And
their
the children, too. I said it short. And they all hated me. It wasn't crayon, it was crown.
I know what I say. I know what I mean when I say it, so...
Yeah, but the funny thing about communication is that other people need to know what you're saying.
They do, if they're from my family.
So you only communicate with your family.
Well, who else are you going to go to and say, hey, do you have any crowns?
Your best friend Kaylee, who serenaded
just
a boy in the
carry-
4th grade to Camp Rocks. This is me.
You're right. You probably have some crowns in your purse
I
or
have
something.
so much. I have a whole box of Cliff Bars in my purse.
A box of Cliff Bars? She's pulling it out right now. Look at that. That is a box. Chocolate brownie Cliff Bars. Wow. That's... Yep. Sustained energy, chocolate brownie, natural flavor. How can... Okay, hold on. How can it be chocolate brownie but natural flavor?
I don't know.
Is it like, all natural cocoa?
I don't know.
I actually just... someone I know just recently learned that there's caffeine in chocolate.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And she was like, no, there's no caffeine in chocolate. And we're like, yeah, there's caffeine in chocolate. She's like, no, there's caffeine in coffee. Chocolate is like cocoa. And I'm like, yeah, that's like what it mainly is. But when you're making chocolate, there's coffee in it. Not coffee, caffeine.
I doesn't say there's caffeine in this, but
But it's a Cliff Bar.
it's an energy bar.
Quote unquote natural flavor.
I didn't eat breakfast.
So you're having a chocolate brownie Cliff Bar?
Mm-hmm. Those are what those really are for. It's when I forget to eat. That's yours now.
Yeah, that's fair. I can eat it later. You're telling me there was nothing growing up that you pronounced horribly?
Well,
Come on, there has to be something.
there is something.
Okay.
And I remember getting so much heat in high school from this person named Sophie. Shout out Sophie. I just name drop on this podcast because what are you gonna
So
do?
much
I name
heat
drop you on
in
my
high school
podcast.
from Sophie.
Well, Sophie and I are chill now. Sophie follows me on
Oh.
Twitter.
Oh, good.
We're,
Okay.
we're friends.
Hi, Sophie.
Hi, Sophie. But I say both, and I put like an L in there, and I remember that upset them so much.
Both.
Both, but I say like with an L.
Both.
So instead of saying
Both.
both, I say both.
Both. Oh yeah, I guess.
I put an L in there.
Yeah, I guess I have heard that before. Like thinking back on how people have said it, but I don't know. I think that would have to be like a conscious thought to like add that L because you have to like have your tongue touch the roof of your mouth.
I don't know why, but it's not like really conscious to me. Like I'll just say it
Yeah, I guess that's fair because you've been pronouncing that way.
my whole life.
Yeah,
It's kind of like people say milk and milk.
just like I have to consciously say crayon.
I just saw like flashbacks behind your eyes. I saw the whole battlefield.
War imaging.
Crayon!
That's what I would go to war for.
War. War never changes. Ever since the dawn of time.
Whoa.
Isn't that
Okay.
a Fallout monologue?
It sounds, listen, if it sounds like it's from anything, it's from Fallout. And to be honest, I haven't really played too much of Fallout games. I don't really get the overarching story other than it's post-apocalyptic. Like,
That's all there is. My ex was super into Fallout. And I still didn't know what was going on. He would talk to me about it, and I'd be like, "So you're drinking a nuclear soda? So
yeah,
you
I'm
hide
drinking
in the
it
fridge."
for the caps, for the bottle caps, because they're currency. Do you think, okay, because in Fallout, I know this piece of information, like bottle caps are currency
Yeah.
in Fallout. Post-apocalyptic Earth, what do you think we would actually make currency?
Honestly,
Because if the whole world is post-apocalyptic, I feel like we would find some form of universal currency, and we would like get rid of like paper money and like dollars, yen, pounds,
it would
euros.
probably be
and,
like
we would get rid of them.
screws.
Screws.
Because there's so many of those, and they last for forever,
True.
and we need them.
Yeah, I think if the apocalypse kind of does away with more efficient ways of farming, I could see some foods
Yeah.
Like some long-lasting foods.
Like canned foods.
Get currencies. Like, only one I can think of right now is onions. But I don't know if onions would be currency.
It's a Shrek
Maybe
world.
like, yeah, it's a Shrek world.
Tell you about Shrek after you finish your story.
Oh. Yeah, maybe like some form of food, like maybe like carrots or potatoes or something. Like I could see potatoes being currency.
Oh, I mess with a good carrot.
A good carrot, really? I thought you were acting that way with a potato. I love potatoes. There's so many different ways you can eat them.
I also love potatoes, but...
You ever heard of mashed carrots? Nope. Mashed potatoes? Yum.
Have you ever had, like, what's it called?
Carrot fries? Nope. Carrot chips? Nope. There might be carrot chips.
I'm going to jump across this table and smash you in the face. Have you ever had, like, carrots that were, like, in a stew of some kind? Not a stew, but, like, in a... What is it called when you cook the roast beef in it? And, like, there's carrots and potatoes and, like, cabbage. What are those called?
I think it's just roast beef.
Yeah, but have you ever had carrots that are, like, in roast beef? Those are, like, the best kind of carrots that have been seen in
where they're,
roast
like,
beef.
chopped up and they're
like,
softer
juicy.
now. Yeah.
Oh, best
They're
carrots.
softer now.
I do love a good potato, though, because you can have a potato in any ways. I think I'm going to go get a baked potato from Wendy's today now. Actually, I'm a liar.
Wendy's has baked potatoes?
You didn't know that?
No.
Wendy's has baked potatoes.
I don't remember the last time I've been to a Wendy's.
Whoa. What do you mean? I love Wendy's.
No. Like, Wendy's is not the fast food place I would be like, hey, where are we going? Wendy's.
Well, you have a bias.
Okay. I may or may not have an addiction to McDonald's, but I pick other places sometimes. I do.
When was the last time you picked anything other than McDonald's?
I picked Cafe Rio a few months ago.
You mean when we did our trial run?
Months ago.
Did you pick it or did I pick it?
I mentioned it and you were like, oh, Cafe Rio.
I love Cafe Rio.
Yeah. But like, I don't know. Would you call it fast food? I don't know if I would.
It's like fast cash.
Like fast food that I've picked over McDonald's.
Literally nothing.
Yeah, no.
You only pick McDonald's.
Because it's the best. Because it's the best.
Well, it's okay. Connor, you cannot tell me there are not better places to eat than McDonald's.
I never said there's not better places to eat than McDonald's. There are. What fast food place is better than McDonald's?
Taco Bell. Taco Bell has something for everybody.
No. The only thing Taco Bell has over McDonald's is they have Baja Blast.
Well, and they also have more vegetarian-friendly options than McDonald's.
Yeah, but McDonald's is just helping people not choose that lifestyle.
What lifestyle? Oh, vegetarianism?
Yeah. McDonald's
our
like,
own
come on, just eat
producer
the
is a
meat.
vegetarian.
I know.
Our producer, dude.
Hey, we have to clarify, though. Ina's only a vegetarian in America. When she goes to Spain, she eats meat.
Wait, why is she only vegetarian in America?
Think about the meat in America.
I actually don't want to. I'm good. I'll pass.
We can't judge her for not wanting a greased up steak.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, but man, when I say that, good steak.
You know what I've been craving recently that we talked about in one of our episodes? Olive Garden.
We did talk about, actually, that was super weird because right after that episode, I think it was right after that episode uploaded, a ton of people that I was hanging around, like Olive Garden was just a hot topic in the census. People without listening to the episode, I was like, this is
That's been happening to me lately, where whenever we talk about something on the podcast, people in my life will start talking about it.
Yeah.
And I'll be like,
I think
we talk about it on the podcast.
It might just be like you're more aware of it because you just talked about it. Because they might not have changed how often they talk about it. You might have just changed how much you notice it.
That's true. That's a
But
good observation.
I don't know if Olive Garden is something people just all talk about all the time.
Right? Isn't that crazy? I feel like it's been talked about left and right lately.
I don't really know if there is a restaurant like Olive Garden because you said like Cafe Rio was fast casual.
Yeah.
Olive Garden is like casual, nice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's
Red Lobster.
Red Lobster. You're right.
Chili's.
I think I wouldn't go so far to say
Chili's is its own realm, though.
I don't think Chili's could pass for fancy. I think Red Lobster and Olive Garden could pass for fancy. Chili's, no
Chili's
way.
is its own entity.
Yeah, Chili's it's separate from the, like every graft has its outliers. Chili's an outlier. Chili's just somewhere off doing its own thing.
Chili's and Applebee's are in the same realm.
Yeah, because I get them mixed up all the time. Not even like them mixed up. I get their menus mixed up. I will go to Chili's and in my head I'll be like, I'm going to get a chicken parmesan. And I'm like, wait, that's not offered here.
I cannot believe you just admitted to me you mix up Applebee's and Chili's.
Not like the names or the places, like the menus. Not like all
Oh yeah,
menus.
they do have very similar menus, but like they differ drastically in the things that they do differ
Right.
on.
So like I'll go to Chili's and I'll think about the order I get for Applebee's. I'm like, wait, I'm not at the right place. I'm really hoping that picked up on the mic because that was a really good back crack.
I don't think it did.
I don't think it did either. But if it did, that was crazy.
I think that one picked up.
We'll see.
Well, the first one was just really bassy.
Mm-hmm. But I think Red Lobster, I think you're right with saying Red Lobster is like Olive Garden, but Red Lobster gets way less attention than Olive Garden.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing. Because like bad thing with like it should get as much attention. Good thing with that means if you go to Red Lobster, not everyone's going to be there.
Yeah.
Because like you go to Olive, everyone's at Olive Garden.
Yeah. You know where we should go? Texas Roadhouse.
Okay, I think Texas Roadhouse is more fancy than casual though. Like it's tipping the scales further.
Really? I don't feel like it's more casual, but I feel like you can go in casual clothes. Like I don't feel like you have to dress up.
You can go in casual clothes, but like there's no, like you can't just go to Texas Roadhouse, pick up an order and leave. Because like you can do that with Olive Garden and I'm pretty sure Red Lobster. But like Texas Roadhouse, they have real nice steaks. They have amazing rolls.
Oh my God, I love Texas Roadhouse. I'm going to make my family go when I'm home.
Okay, so you know how they offer peanut? Back when they lobby had like peanuts on the floor and stuff. And then at the tables, you would have like buckets. I'm going to really expose my brother here. When he was younger, him and my mom went to Texas Roadhouse one time and they bring out the bucket of peanuts and then the empty bucket. And my mom's eating them and she goes, Lance, you're not going to have any? And he says, no, I don't really like peanuts. And she says, you don't like peanuts? You should, when was the last time you had a peanut? And he said, not for a while, just because I don't like them. And my mom said, why don't you have a peanut right now and try it and see how you like it? And he goes, okay, I'll try one. And instantly, my mom knew why he didn't like them. He picked up a peanut from the bucket and shoved the whole thing in his mouth. All of it. Whole thing. Just, boop, all of it.
And he chewed it?
And he was like, split second from when he threw it in his mouth. My mom was just like, Lance, that's why you don't like it. You're not supposed to eat the shell. And he goes, what? And she's like, it's inside the shell. You have to break it open. Look, like this. And she starts like cracking a peanut open and eating the peanut inside. And he just goes, oh. And her next response was, what did you think the empty bucket was for? And he said, I don't know. Decoration?
Add a little bit of pizzazz to the table.
Add a little bit of spice.
Can I say something that's going to also expose me?
Did you do the same thing?
Well, I did, but I would break it open like a sunflower seed in my mouth.
In your mouth?
Yeah, so I'd put it in my mouth and I'd be like, salty. Salty. And then I break it open.
Oh, no. The nut itself is a little bit salty.
Well, no, I was a sodium deficient child, okay? I needed any salt I could get. I just threw it all in there.
Okay, but did you take the shell out of your mouth?
Yes.
Okay.
So the bucket probably had some dry shells mixed in with my slimy goopy, salivated drenched shells.
I could just imagine you waiting for a table, doing that, and then spitting it out on the floor.
Actually, we never went to Texas Roadhouse when I was a child. Texas Roadhouse is a new discovery from me and my family, which is why I'm so obsessed with it.
A new discovery?
Yeah. Well, my mom was a single mother of 3. So, like, she couldn't be like, let's go to Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah, but you should at least know of Texas Roadhouse.
I knew of it, but I never had it. And then I had it. I think I think my dad was like, do you guys want to go get it? Because my dad, before he met my mom, didn't have to take care of 3 kids by himself. Mm-hmm. And so we were like, okay, we'll go try Texas Roadhouse. And at first I was like, I feel like I'm not going to like it. And then we went in and, dude, for the past like year, it's what we do. They'll pick me up from the airport and there's a Texas Roadhouse on the way home from the airport and we'll go and get Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah, I don't think anyone could dislike Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Just because they have so many different things and all of them are so good.
I'm texting my mom that we need to go get Texas Roadhouse.
I think the closest that Texas Roadhouse and Olive Garden are that are really similar Texas Roadhouse and Olive Garden both have an item that you go both for and leave with. Texas Roadhouse is the rolls. Olive Garden is the breadsticks.
Yeah.
Like, both of them kill it on the bread. And you're like, you just want more. Like, hey, can we have some more breadsticks? And then when they give you, they're like, can we have the check? And then you just take the breadsticks with you.
Yeah. We always get like a little bag to go of either the rolls or the breadsticks. And my mom makes sure we get some of that. The
cinnamon butter.
Yeah, my mom makes sure. She's like, can we get 2 of those to go?
My mom does the same thing.
Moms are just out here saving lives. And you want to know what's crazy is I'm going to say something controversial. I don't think Olive Garden breadsticks are good warmed up. I think they're kind of gross. But you know what's always good warmed up?
You don't like them warmed up?
No, I think they're good warmed up, but they have to be fresh. Like when you warm them up at home, after you take them home, they're not good. They're not as good. They're kind of hard. They're kind of like, they're either a little soggy or they're a little dry. They don't retain the Italian authenticity that they do at the restaurant.
Yes.
Texas Roadhouse
Mother
rolls,
Italy
though,
is no longer in those breadsticks.
You know what? Texas Roadhouse rolls, though, those suckers are always good.
Those were built to be heated up.
Yeah. Oh my. And then if you heat them up, but like you put a little bit of
they
like
just got the
butter on it.
them. Like not even like with the cinnamon butter. They just naturally have that shine.
They got
to
the glisten.
Rolls. Oh man.
They got that naturally built-in highlighter.
I could go to Texas Roadhouse just for the rolls. That's one thing in high school I really wanted to do. Like for some reason, I just wanted to go to Texas Roadhouse, ask for rolls. If they make me pay for them, I will, and then leave. Just so I have a bag of rolls. But I didn't want to do the same for Olive Garden breadsticks. So I think
that's telling enough. I think Texas Roadhouse wins this debate. I think they do. I'm sorry. They have something for everybody.
No, I think Texas Roadhouse wins.
And their food is like obviously Olive Garden pasta is good warmed up.
Right.
But like their
also,
chicken is
going for date wise. If I was brought to Olive Garden, I'd be like, okay, generic date. We'll see how it goes. If I'm brought to Texas Roadhouse for a date, I'm like, dang.
You're in love with me.
We have a winner. I was like, we have a winner.
Yeah. No, I'm going to convince the next man that takes me on a date to take me to Texas Roadhouse.
Just constantly.
I would pay for my own meal. I would.
Before he takes you out, like if you feel like he's going to ask you out soon, just constantly hint that you love Texas Roadhouse.
I'm going to start doing that with that one guy.
Then
I'm going to start doing that. I'm just going to nonstop bring him Texas Roadhouse.
I think that does work on some level.
I think it will.
Even if guys are oblivious, they just know what's been repeated so often.
Yeah.
And like if you repeat it enough, they will remember Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, yeah.
Even if they think it's their idea. That's the best when they think it's their idea.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're like, good job. You're so smart.
Like one time I Pavloved a guy to take me to the pizza factory.
Did you really?
I did. I love the Pizza Factory. There's this restaurant in town for our listeners who aren't familiar with our college town. There's a restaurant in town called the Pizza Factory that has like the best like cinnamon breadsticks and then like pizza. I actually love their pizza. I'm not a big fan of their pasta, but I love their
only
pizza.
Ever been to the Pizza Factory once.
My family goes every time they come to town.
It was right after a hike, and the people I was with were like, hey, where do you want to go? And I go, I don't know. And then they all decided Pizza Factory, and I go, what's that? And they're like, we're going. I'm like, wait, what is it? And they go, no. We're going. You'll learn. So I've had Pizza Factory once.
You want to make it twice? I love the Pizza Factory. When I come back,
yeah, it was good.
When we get back from fall break, we'll go and get the Pizza Factory.
Fall break? I hate to tell you this, we're back from fall break.
When we get back from Thanksgiving break
was episode 1.
I leave the state tomorrow, okay? When we get back from Thanksgiving break, happy Thanksgiving to our listeners.
Happy Thanksgiving.
We won't see you guys until after Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving to our listeners if you celebrate. If not,
be grateful for those around you.
Yeah.
We're grateful for you guys.
Yeah, I guess. I'm joking. I'm so grateful for it. I cannot tell you how much, like, it motivates me to keep going when even, like, 3 people who I don't speak to in my daily life listen to the podcast.
Yeah. Little announcement. Apple Podcasts on hiatus for now until we can figure out what's going on there.
It's okay. We still have YouTube and Spotify.
We still have YouTube and Spotify.
We should put it on SoundCloud.
I
was just joking, but now that you're saying that's probably not a bad idea.
No, not a terrible idea.
No. But yeah, Pizza Factory. Love it. Also, happy Thanksgiving, and I'm grateful for you guys. Thanks for making this passion project very passionate. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. If you have pizza for Thanksgiving, 1, don't. But 2, If you do, go to Pizza Factory.
If you do, I hope you're thinking of your pals at the Ultracrepidarian podcast.
That's what if they're listening to the podcast while eating Pizza Factory?
Or what if they're listening to the podcast while eating Olive Garden or Texas Roadhouse?
Or we talked about a lot of restaurants
We have.
on this episode.
Chili's, Red Lobster, Applebee's.
We should, yeah. Man, I forgot about we talked about Red Lobster. And that was like 20 minutes ago. Was it? I don't know, 15, something.
It was like 10.
10 minutes ago. Long enough for me to forget it.
Yeah.
What do you... Okay. Red Lobster has both seafood, non-seafood.
Mm-hmm.
What do you get?
Can I tell you a secret?
Have you never been to Red Lobster?
I've never been to Red Lobster. Or if I have, I don't remember it.
That's more of a crime of me only going to Pizza Factory once. Because at least
No,
I've
it's
been.
not.
Yes, it is.
What
at
about
least
me
I've been.
screams Red Lobster?
At least I've been. Red Lobster is literally everywhere in the country.
It is. It's right next to my place of work.
You know what? I get a lot of people mixing Red Lobster up with Bubba Gum shrimp.
What? To
Yeah.
me, bubblegum shrimp is like 3 levels above Red Lobster. Like I know it's not
Yeah.
like I know it's like
I agree.
not the fanciest, but I think of it and I think of like, oh, Universal Studios, so therefore it must be like better.
I remember getting Bubba Gum shrimp a lot going to Universal growing up, and then coming out here when I would mention it, like places here, they're scarce. There's not a lot of bubblegum shrimp just like casually in every city. But I think the nearest is in a mall in Vegas.
Yes, it is. It's right next to the Rainforest Cafe. I walked past it.
Yeah, the Rainforest Cafe. That's
2 weeks ago.
But
It smells like food. I don't know if I'm crazy.
I think you're crazy.
It smells like food.
I think it's just because we're talking about food.
Oh, you're right. I am hungry.
But the bubblegum shrimp there, I was mentioning it, and then someone I was talking to just said,
Yeah.
the person I was talking to just goes, "What's bubblegum shrimp?"
What?
And I'm like, bubblegum shrimp. And this is what she says. She goes, "From the movie?" I'm like, "Well, yes, but it's a real restaurant."
Was it before the movie, though?
And she didn't realize it was like an actual thing. I don't know.
Let's Google this.
Because they have the exact same logo as they do in the movie. I think Forrest Gump came out before, and then bubblegum shrimp actually became a thing. That's just how I see it. Because also, like, there's one in every Universal Studios. So what does that say? It really says nothing because there's a Rainforest Cafe in every Universal as well.
Yeah. Oh, it was from Forrest Gump.
Yep. That's what I thought. Because,
Yeah.
like, it literally is Bubba Gump, like Forrest Gump, and then, like, Bubba.
Yeah, hold on. This guy named Anthony Zolezi bought the rights to the name Bubba Gump Shrimp Co. from Paramount Pictures and hoped to use the name to revive his struggling seafood company.
Oh, so it's a rebranding.
It's a rebranding.
Interesting. Man, how much did he have to pay for those rights?
Probably way too much.
I mean, he's obviously earned that and way
like,
more back.
I wonder if they have like a partnership.
They might have when it started getting successful.
Is Paramount part of Universal?
I think Paramount Pictures is separate than Universal Studios.
No, it might be because Shrek is Paramount, but Shrek is at Universal.
Shrek is not Paramount. Shrek is DreamWorks.
Oh.
DreamWorks is Universal. Paramount Picture might be in part of Universal. As film students, we should probably know this. But we're learning it right now.
No.
Paramount Pictures is not a part of Universal.
No.
I didn't think it was because I think, like, I was pretty sure it was a different studio from Universal Studios. But, like, they have different, like, Universal Studios has branches. Like, they have the animation branch, DreamWorks. Mm-hmm. So, and, like, Disney has Disney Animation. They also have Pixar, but Pixar wasn't originally Disney.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy to think about? Pixar was just a bunch of, like, college students making animated shorts, and Disney swooped it up.
Yeah, they did. Pixar caught Disney's eye, I believe, after making the short of like the toy that was like the walking Music Man who had the cymbals and the drum on his back. And then they asked, hey, could you make a feature-length film about toys? And what's the thing where like you take it and you show it everywhere?
Partner? Distribute?
Yeah, we'll distribute it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, what they did was, we talk about this in our pre-production class, is they made a pitch deal with them, or like an investor deal with them, where Disney invested into it. And then they were like, you guys can get this much of the profits, we get this much of the profits, and we'll distribute it and do all your marketing for you.
Right.
So I think Pixar really only got like 40% of the profits from the original Toy Story. But then they did a partnership with Disney in the 90s where they had a 10-year contract with them where they would make, I don't remember the exact number of movies, but it's what made Monsters, Inc. and Incredibles.
Incredibles, A Bug's Life.
All the classics of Pixar.
Yeah. And then
Disney bought
Pixar when they realized, okay, we can like do more than just partnering with them. But I remember originally Toy Story, the original script had Woody be like a jerk.
Yeah.
And he like ran Andy's room like a base camp. He would make him in basic training and stuff. And they pitched the script to Disney, and Disney like rejected it just flat out. They're like, nope, sorry, it's not gonna work. And then one of them was like, no, wait. Just give us like notes on the script and let us revise it and then pitch it again. And after some convincing, they were like, okay, we'll let you revise it. You can pitch it again at this time. And they kind of redid the whole script with like changing Woody's whole character. And then they repitched it. And Disney's like, oh, well, this is great.
This is immaculate.
This is amazing.
This is cinema.
This could be 4 movies.
Could you imagine if they didn't make Toy Story?
I don't know where...
be as a society.
I have no idea where Pixar would be without Toy Story.
Yeah.
Most definitely. I think like even like possibly Disney could be smaller without Toy Story.
Oh yeah.
Because without Toy Story they wouldn't have any of the Pixar films.
Well, and that's what's considered Disney's renaissance period of the early 2000s, the 90s to 2000s.
Because when they got Pixar, when Disney Animations was killing it. Yeah.
My mom also just confirmed we're getting Texas Roadhouse while I'm home.
Well, there you go.
But also, back to the Disney thing, there's a whole documentary on Disney Plus, which is probably just Disney propaganda. We're back to Disney again, by the way. Oh my gosh. But it's just so hard to not talk about Disney as film kids, because they produce so many franchises now. Like Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, Fox.
I want to find out, when was the last time a year passed, like 2019 or like 2018, 2016. When was the last time a year passed where one of Disney's branches didn't release a movie?
I don't think...
Not
within the last 10 years, at least.
Yeah, I would say not within the last 15.
Yeah, but they didn't own those branches potentially in the last 15 years. Because George Lucas because they just bought Lucas Studios in like 2015. And that's been less than 10 years. I just realized we're closer to 2025 than we are to 2015. That makes me want to vomit.
Well, there was yesterday a trend exploded, and only for yesterday, because the show, I believe at that point it was Sweet Life on Deck.
Oh yeah. No, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Was it still Sweet Life of Zack and Cody?
Yeah.
Yeah. They went to an Italian restaurant and they were like, I have a table for 7:30 on November 16th, 2023. And that was 16 years ago, I want to say. And then that trend exploded yesterday because they were like, hey, Zack and Cody's table is ready. And everyone's like, wow, it's such a fun trend. We made it. And I see that trend. I'm like, that is evil. Hated that they were in the far, far future, 2023. And now we're in the far, far future.
Time has been trippy. I talk about that in the show that I'm doing right now, where I talk about how 7 years is half of my character's life as a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
But then I think about what 7 years means to me as a 20-year-old. And it's 7 years ago, I was a different entity.
An entire different person.
Yeah.
Well, that's the whole thing with your cells and stuff get replaced and stuff. So every 7 years, you're in, like, every cell in your body has been replaced. So you're a completely different person.
Yeah, I am. I would beat up 13-year-old Kaylee. I would.
13-year-old
Somebody get
Kaylee,
that
that's
21
so funny.
Pilots out of her headphones right now.
Whoa, 21 Pilots. That's so...
I would go on walks with my parents, and I'd, like, run ahead of them, and I have my headphones in and be all angsty, and I'd be listening to car radio. I'd be like, they'd be like, what's wrong? And I'd be like, you wouldn't get it.
I remember in middle school, I was in a theater class, and one of the first projects to get people comfortable was lip syncing a song. My group didn't do it. 3 out of, like, the 6 groups in class had 21 Pilot songs. And my group had Bop to the Top as our music video because there was a ladder in the class, and I saw it, and I was like, guys, we have to do this. And what was really funny, in our group of 4, there were 2 girls and 2 guys, and the guys did Sharpay's part while the girls did Ryan's in Bop to the Top. So, wait.
You were Sharpay Evans?
Yeah.
Is there video evidence of this?
No.
There
would never be video
Can
evidence
we recreate
of this.
it? Can we please, Connor?
No.
Connor, please. I am begging.
Well, we do have a TikTok now.
And I do know a place where we could get a ladder.
Guys, be on the lookout for a TikTok video where we may or may not recreate Bob to the Top.
But Connor is Sharpay.
But I'm Sharpay. I have to be Sharpay.
You want to know what the nicest thing anybody said to me was?
What's the nicest thing I was ever said to you?
I will bark at you on the podcast. I don't even care.
What's the nicest thing anyone's ever?
Somebody said to me, somebody recently just said to me was we were in my musical theater class, and I'm portraying this character that's like a little quirky and wacky and like silly, and my professor was like, I picked this song because it's up your alley for singing, and I think it'd be really fun for you. But as I was picking it, I was just like, I already know you're gonna be a menace with your character choices.
Oh no!
And I was like, actually, I can't name drop professors, but I just did anyways. But the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me was they were like, "You're like if Sharpay Evans wasn't mean." And I was like,
Wow,
that's so nice.
Wow,
Thank you. Except I feel like I'm nothing like her.
Gotta be honest. It's been a while since I've seen the High School Musical movies. So all I remember from Sharpay Evans is she's mean.
I mean, I can be mean too.
So, well, yeah, all of us have a little Sharpay Evans inside of ourselves.
We all have a little Sharpay inside of us.
It's like instead of Shoulder Angel and Shoulder Devil, it's Shoulder Gabriella, Shoulder Sharpay.
Gabriella was the most annoying female lead ever.
Yeah. There was for all the like people attacking her in all 3 of those movies, she never stood up for herself. She was like, I'm just gonna run away.
Yeah.
And then Troy had to run after her.
Which, like, I think kind of fed my delusions as a child. But also, she never, like, resolved the conflict. She always was just like, I'm done. I'm tired of the drama. That was my little
But
run.
also that's kind of realistic, because if I went to East High with all that happening, I'd be like, I need to move.
But she left in the middle of summer break. Which they came down here for the summer. Do you ever think about that? They drove all the way from Salt Lake down to our college town for summer break.
It wasn't our college town. It was close.
It was the town next to our college town.
Yeah.
But I still consider it part of our college town.
It's close enough, especially when there's like nothing else out here.
No.
So.
But I think about that all the time. And you can see the Tuacahn Mountains in the back of the movie.
Yeah, you can.
That makes me want to vomit.
Have you ever been to East High? Like
I
high
drove
school?
by.
I've been in it, and yeah, Sharpay's locker's still pink. But they can't give it to anyone anymore because in the third movie, they had the 2 lockers be 1 for Sharpay's, and that wall is still no longer there. So they can't give it to any student that actually goes there because it's 2 lockers. Like, it's 1 locker the size of 2. But after the first movie, when it was just 1 pink locker, they were able to have students have that locker. I think there were like bidding wars for the locker.
That's crazy to think about. I just want to touch it. I just want to put my hand on it. Say, oh, Ashley Tisdale was here.
Yeah, I mean...
She carried Disney Channel on her back for decades.
Because she had Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Sweet Life on Deck. Phineas and Ferb.
She guest starred on Sweet Life on Deck.
No, she was on Sweet Life on Deck.
No, because that was when Debbie Ryan came on, and
you're right.
Yeah, she didn't go on the boat with them.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but she had High School Musical. She had Phineas and Ferb. She was Candace.
She had so much.
Yeah,
but same thing for Debbie. Well, Debbie Ryan only had the 2 things, to my knowledge, and then Disney Channel original movies, of course.
She had.
Debbie Ryan was Radio Rebel.
She was. No, I'm Radio Rebel.
No, I'm Radio Rebel. We're in a podcast studio. We're Radio Rebel.
We're Radio Rebel, guys. We're Radio Rebel.
We're Radio Rebel.
And this is where we're ending the 3rd episode.
No, just kidding. Yeah, this is where we have to stop.
It's come to a close, just like all episodes have. But just like they all come to a close, the next episode will come to a beginning soon.
In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. After Thanksgiving. So we'll see you guys, and we'll recap our own Thanksgiving. And
happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Happy Black Friday.
Good luck on Black Friday. For real.
In the trenches.
Get those deals.
Don't break an arm. And remember, we all have an Ashley Tisdale inside of us. Find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, maybe. Just kidding, that's on hiatus. And YouTube.com under Ultracrepidarians HQ.
Ultracrepidarians on YouTube and Spotify.
Yep.
Our socials are Ultracrepidarians HQ.
Yep.
We'll see you guys later.
Bye.